stage. There we go. So we're live on Evan's Facebook.
Camera 1, camera 2.
LinkedIn. Instagram is going live. We'll see if we can get...
So Evan's pushing off all the cameras. Good morning. Welcome to our live launch on the West Coast. We already launched this morning, 5 a.m. on the East Coast. We are launching, this is the prototype, the Alien Ship, Escape Comics, the Alien Ship. This is our 8-year journey. It's been overwhelming so far. We've had, last time I looked at this screen, we had 70 backers, which has brought us over halfway to our $10,000 launching goal. The $10,000 launching goal is the minimum one that we need to do to actually produce the game. But we can go well beyond that. And how the Kickstarter game works is the more sales that we can get on day one, the more that they are willing to share it with their overall community. And it's millions and millions of people that are on Kickstarter. And so we are live on one camera. That's my live Facebook. We got TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. And if you're just waking up, good morning. We are officially at 72 backers for $6,500, which is incredible. When we pressed the live launch just a couple hours ago this morning, you're just sitting here and being like, well, is anybody, going to pick one up? We don't know. We have no idea.
I mean, we barely have any friends at all, and none of them live on the East Coast, so we didn't know what was going to happen. They were all sleeping when we started.
Exactly. And so people are just waking up to us now. We went through the list and was thanking everybody while we had a little bit of a time for some breakfast and some Canadian Tim Hortons. And we have so many friends that are still coming out to support us, and that's going to happen. Hopefully, I think, I don't know, we'll see. I think that we're going to be able to go past our funding goal. Maybe on this live session.
This live
session
today.
Right now.
Mark it.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about a whole bunch of fun things.
We're just losing followers every time we do that.
I know. That's fine. That's fine. Not the audience. Again, we're doing, if you're just joining us, this is for the launch of Escape Comics, the Alien Ship. It's a 1 to 4 player game. If you love escape rooms, if you love comic books, if you love tabletop games, this is a combination. It's an evolution on the original escape room kind of game. And the big difference here is, one, the story is provided through a 27-page comic book. And like, if you've ever done escape rooms and you really love them, you know that you usually have a time limit of like 45 minutes or you have a time limit of an hour. That is not this game. This game you can expect a 4 to 8 hour campaign. It has multiple save points, so you can do it over different sessions. And it's got a point system. So we reward true puzzlers that try to do it without the least amount of hints. If you need hints, that's okay. It will cost you 1 point.
Just want to quickly shout out people watching. Patrick Donovan getting his kids ready for school this morning. Anybody else is appearing this mug? Jonathan's back. And
welcome back, Jonathan.
My lovely partner, Setra, is on the line getting her first taste of the Doug Beach experience, full of caffeine on this early morning. So Doug's had a few. You want to go over your morning with the go live buttons and like the publish buttons?
Absolutely. Before I do that, I just want to say hello to my Facebook Live that we thought was filming 3 minutes ago. Again, we're here for launching the Alien Ship, Escape Comics, the Alien Ship. We launched, first of all, 3 hours ago with our friends on the East Coast. Evan was asking, well, what's been our experience this morning? Overwhelming, I think. Overwhelming. Just before I get into the stories, we are at $6,668. Thank goodness there's one non-6 in there. 73 different backers, which has been extremely exciting. And there was a lot of pressure. We've been building this campaign over 8 years, and we press that launch button. You don't know if anybody's going to buy one. So to have 70 backers already, and we had backers right away. As soon as we pressed launch, props to the first 10 backers. It was just like bang, 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 bang. It was so exciting for us. And now we're really excited to be doing this to you all live. And I said before, TikTok, Instagram, my Facebook, our Jumping High Five account. So welcome everybody. And thanks for joining us for the launch.
Yeah, if you haven't had a chance already, we do have promotion on for today, first 24 hours, to give you $10 off the product. As Doug mentioned, as big if Kickstarter sees a lot of activity in the first 24 hours, it really helps our campaign. So if you haven't already got that in your emails, check your spam folder, check your promotions tab. And if you still can't see it, just send us a direct message and we'll send you a link to get that discount to you as soon as we're off this live broadcast.
Yeah, in the Kickstarter page too, if you just find it on the Kickstarter page, if you can figure out where this is, we do have it live in an update session there. So if you press updates, you can see the live link, which leads to the question that you were asking, like what has been our experience? We've been trying to make all of this technology work. This is Evan and myself's first attempt at going live. And, we've made a few mistakes, but we've been learning. We've been learning along the way. We had a little bit of, we pushed this experience and kind of did a practice round 2 days ago. Thank goodness. We learned a lot that time. But like one of the big parts about Kickstarter is that you want the most important time if you're going to support that is today. And so that's why we have that 20% discount. Well, we spent the last 3.5-4 months trying to build our followers on Kickstarter. We got it from 200 to this morning. The last time I saw it was almost 700 followers. And those followers get a direct message whenever we send it out. And we went live and then we had already planned and pre-drafted the email to give everybody out the discount codes for all those people that have been following us and supporting us for months now, either it being play testing or sharing this with their friends that like games or like escape games. And then we went live this morning, went and got a coffee, came back.
Can you tell Doug's had a coffee?
I'm jacked. This is my second coffee. We've been up since 3 a.m. For multiple nights now. So yeah, this is it. Anyways, we get back from having the coffee and we haven't sent out the link. So we just sent out the link. So if you got that email and now you're following us, thanks so much for coming. We have a whole bunch of likes and hearts and comments. We have to look into these little screens because we kind of hack together these. That guy just got a deep view of my face.
Shout out to Wobbling Wagons and Nathan, my buddy in Montreal. Good to see you, Nathan. Thanks for joining.
And Lorena. And Gas Pump. Thanks, Gas Pump, for joining us. I love that name. And Vanessa. Vanessa's live on there.
Yeah, so we wanted to go live on as many platforms as possible and realized we don't have quite enough holders. So we innovated with some mugs to hold some of our cameras up. And you know what?
Microphone?
They're doing just fine. They're doing just fine.
Yep. Thank you for the readjustment.
Making it work.
The Greg mug is excellent.
Shout out Greg.
Already shouted out Greg so fast.
Well, do you want to get into a little bit of what's in the box?
Yes, let's absolutely get into what's in the box. Do you want to talk about the evolution or what you're actually getting?
Why don't we show the people what they're going to get in this incredible product? So for the simple price of, what's the final price today?
Today, the discounted price is $49 US. This is a 20% discount that only goes for the first 24 hours.
You're going to be getting yourself one of these very fashionable, very trendy alien handcuffs. Now, you may have seen these on feeds like Kim Kardashian's and Neil Patrick Harris's, as they're pretty in vogue right now. The trick is getting them off. And what you'll find is that as soon as these have latched onto your arms, you're going to need to really work on solving this puzzle to somehow free yourself and continue with your mission.
Absolutely. I see a question from Jay Cormier from Off the Page Games, who's live here.
What's up, Jay?
I just want to let you guys all know that this is a box of a prototype. If you go and look at any of our review videos, you can tell that this is much more organized in the game that you're going to receive. Jay's question: what was the inspiration to combine escape rooms and comics? Do you want me to speak to that first? Please. Okay. So when we first played our first escape game, now 9 years ago, when they really started to come out, we went to escape rooms first, and then escape room board games started to become a thing. We played our first one, which was Exit. But then we played tons of them, like dozens of them, and now there's hundreds of them available. And the one thing that we really wanted was the immersion. And to make it very, very immersive, we had some experiences that we wanted to fix. So we went to an escape room that was pyramids and with sphinxes and all this kind of stuff based in Egypt. And some of the story and the setup was really nice, but the puzzles weren't. They had plot holes. The puzzles weren't really connected to the story. And we're like, well, wouldn't it be nice to be able to make the story a big part of the immersion in escape games? And that led us pretty naturally, pretty quickly to building a comic book. Now, I will say, Evan, that if I knew what I knew now, 8 years later, and what it takes to pencil, script, and we can talk a bit about this during this launch, illustrate an entire comic book. That could have been its own Kickstarter project. That was years in the making, just to get there. Never mind inserting puzzles in there so that you could be the hero in the comic book. So that's where the inspiration came from. I love that question, Jay. Thanks so much. And I want to give out a shot to Jay Cormier. He has an amazing company called Off the Page Games. You want to see really successful Kickstarters, go check out his games. They're really fun. He kind of does the opposite. We built a comic book out of scratch. Jay partners with like really successful, fun comic books and then builds them into immersive board games, which I think is a wonderful model. Like, it's just so much fun.
Yeah, and Jay's just one of the guys we'd like to thank on this broadcast. We've had so many people help us bring this together because, of course, our collective expertise lacks many skill sets. We cannot draw. We're not good at writing stories. Marketing a Kickstarter was something we had to learn how to do. And so we had a core team of about 12 people helping us throughout the development of this game. And then advisors like John Garcia helping us with the Kickstarter approach. And Jay Cormier, as we've said, gave us lots of feedback on the game, on the puzzles, and on our campaign. So all of them we want to thank, and also all of you. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for following our accounts. It's been really rewarding to get that energy back from you that you're excited about the game because, after 8 years of grinding through it, the energy can start to leak out a little bit as you're pushing this to the finish line. But as Doug said, there are 77 of you who
That's
have
more
already,
than the last time.
That is going up, not down.
$7,000 at 70% on the way to getting this funded.
Up is the right direction, everyone. So that's hard-earned cash that you are entrusting to our baby, our project.
We should also thank the over 200 playtesters from many different board game communities on Facebook, on TikTok, on Instagram, from the review channels. Like we talked about Jay Cormier's and his playtest group and gave a lot of props to him in the earlier broadcast, but that was a big part of our story. It was really remarkable. It was actually pretty devastating when we started playing with playtesters, maybe 3 years into the product, because we thought we had built this incredible game and we were proved wrong over and over and over and over again. But we got here. We got to the starting line. Today is the starting line.
We're here. And if you're just joining us, we are launching Escape Comics The Alien Ship. There is a $10 discount code available to backers for the first 24 hours. So if you want to check your emails, you should have a beautiful email from us.
There's a live update as well on the Kickstarter where you can find those links. They'll be there for the next 24 hours.
Live updates, tinyurl.com/The Alien Ship will get you to the campaign. If you have any trouble with any part of this, just send us a direct message. We will hook you up. Do you want to get into a little bit of the highs and lows? You were kind of talking about the play testing and
sure,
how that can go. Or do you want to continue with components?
We can do either or. I'm good with either way. Highs and lows was a good thing to think about. Could we come up with some new highs and lows so that if people watch this broadcast as well and they watch the first one?
I think if people are watching the broadcast twice, they're going to be expecting some repeat content. So
okay,
I'm not too worried about it.
All right. Why don't you talk about this component and we'll lead this into a high and low, right? When we talk about play testing, right, a lot of the components went through months, if not years, of different play tests. Like the puzzles, really, we destroyed and canceled more puzzles than we kept in the game. So this is one of the great stories about what Evan had to do to create this game.
Yeah, so we had a vision for a jigsaw mechanic into one of our puzzles and had some pieces of paper that were working for us, but then we wanted something a little sturdier. So got a good friend of mine, shout out Duncan McDonald, helped me out cutting this out of wood, but he cut it out so precisely on a CNC router, I think is what it's called. Is that okay?
I don't know, but it's definitely wood.
I always want to call it D&D router.
You can kind of see it from the back end, like the cuts, like how precise it is. Like this is, if you put it right up to the camera, here, arm length, this way, you can see the pieces.
And so they fit great, but as soon as you punch them out, you can't get them back together unless they're sanded down. So I spent 2 weeks in my apartment just sanding every surface of these like intricately cut, what do you call these pieces again? Fractal pieces. And
we've been up since 5 a.m. Our brains are just...
That was an unexpected side quest to bring this puzzle to life.
Yeah, we were. If you take a look at like a single piece, there were some pieces on the table here before. Right? You can imagine that sanding a fractal puzzle, dozens of these, right? Every single corner had to be sanded so that they could fit together. So, yeah, that was interesting.
So did you want to continue with components or highs and lows? That wasn't the lowest point for me on this campaign.
Why don't you talk about your highs and lows? That sounds great.
All right, so let's start low. It's always good to finish high. So I think for me, the lowest point was when you and I were working on the hive mind puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
And so this puzzle involved combining a bunch of different elements from the game.
If you're on our YouTube live, you can see the documentation of the hive mind puzzle right over here on this side.
And if you're on TikTok or Instagram, you can now also see that.
I'll point my Facebook live over there just so that everybody gets a little bit of the view.
This poster has been living in Doug's wife's office for the last 5 years.
She helped build it.
She was a big part of this, but also very excited to have it out of her office.
Very excited.
I wonder if she's going to let it back in.
That's going to be a tough escape mission.
Well, luckily, we both took negotiation class at University of Victoria. Shout out UVic.
I just want to say, I know you're not looking back there, but we're at 80 backers now.
80 backers.
That's incredible.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, everyone.
Keep going.
Shout out to my neighbors for putting up with our voices at 5 a.m. and the sliding of chairs. You the real ones.
Okay, back to the hive mind. What's going on?
So we're on the hive mind. I have a version of the puzzle that I think is very clever. It's going to work really nicely, very scientific. Doug has a different version of the puzzle that he also feels really passionately about. And for a lot of decision making, I think we're pretty on board, pretty on the same track. A lot of business decisions, marketing. Like,
best idea wins.
Yeah, and like that philosophy of whatever is the best idea wins, like, makes sense until you have to decide, like, well, which one is the best idea, and there's two people voting. So
a lot of gridlock.
Mm-hmm. So this, I would say, escalated into a conflict that I didn't have a lot of skills in conflict at the time, and was really worried about what would happen to the friendship relationship with Doug here. And so carried a lot of stress with me around for weeks after we kind of had it out about which puzzle would be the emerging champion. And
okay, so that's the low of your low. How does that transition?
So the high, or do you want to move on? Yeah, highs. The high was probably getting this art. I don't know, where's the best?
Where's the box? The box cover. This is the prototype one that's been printed. Here we go.
Once we got this, you've probably seen it by now if you're a big Escape Comics fans, but this purple art with the alien on the front, our main characters, the ship zooming out, and the font there, that was a really exciting moment that really kind of made this a reality, kind of made this seem a lot more real. And I think we both are feeling pretty proud about the way this box is going to look on shelves.
Yeah, I love the box. So I've been in the board game business for just over 10 years now. And, you don't judge a book by its cover, but that's sure how you buy books. And so it was really important to us. Like, you think about a couple years to write the script, a few years to create the comic book, and then probably the 4 years to play test and fix puzzles. And we'll talk about the shrink ray later, which was a 6-month journey with multiple team members. You do all of that work, you invest all of this time and money over this amount of years, the 8-year process. You have to love the cover. And this is our 3rd or 4th cover, but from getting it professionally designed. We had prototype after prototype and idea after idea of what we wanted the cover to be. And our lead comic book artist, Mauricio, came out with this one, and we knew right away. So that was a really high of the high. And that, I think, I might be wrong, but I think that we got this cover box 5 years ago. I think that's when because we finished the cover just after the comic book. If you think about that, that's like when everybody that commented on the video says that you took 5 years. Yeah, because we created the video 3 years ago, thinking we were going to launch on Kickstarter, not realizing that we would go to a Jay Cormier playtest, and he's like, "That's absolutely not your final puzzle, guys. Like, you can do better than that." And
there's been a lot of things where we didn't realize how far away we were. I think Doug's declared we're finally finished a handful of occasions over the course of this.
We've talked about it today, but we're just starting. That's what our Kickstarter coach John always says. It's like
8 years to the finish line, boys.
8 years to the starting line.
Start line, boys. We've been paying for a web domain and a website for like 7 years because after year one, we're like, we're getting pretty close. We should probably start marketing. So that's about $1,000 just burnt.
Let me add on to that too. Like we kept a website for almost 8 years through Squarespace, and then in December when we started thinking about marketing, you have to build up your email list. And so anybody that's in marketing, you know that you need to have good site speed to make sure that your ads are efficient. And so we're like, yeah, of course, we've got this big expensive website that we've been paying. It's on Squarespace, and then we go and do some SEO and some speed testing. Not even close. The most basic website was scoring like 50 out of 100. Props to card.co, one of the greatest websites ever that we ended up utilizing to get that speed score up to 100. Anyways, let's not get too technical into the marketing, but we could talk about lesson after lesson after lesson of what we learned on every step of this process. We got some comments here. Shannon. Hi, Shannon. I'm so happy to see this project come to fruition. Congratulations, you guys. I wonder if she's in her background being like, I can find, this is my foster sister from 100 Mile. She could probably be like, Doug can finally stop talking about this. He's been talking about it for almost a decade. Shannon, thank you for your support the entire time. Hillary Smith, she is one of my good friends from elementary school. It's the first time I ever caught snakes, was in her backyard. She's a gamer.
Is that a euphemism?
No, real snakes, real gardener snakes. That's where I learned, like, you can find gardener snakes under hot tarps on a good day. I don't know if that's her first memory of us, but hey, thank you for coming and supporting us. Lots of people here on the different channels.
Shout out to my brother Vip in Thailand. Good to see you on here. And Nate Petey, I believe is the username. Haven't met you yet, but thanks for joining us today.
Shannon says, no, I'm excited to play. We're so excited for you to play too, Shannon. Just for everybody that's interested in getting Escape Comics The Alien Ship, it is a 4 to 8 hour campaign. It is a little bit different than traditional escape rooms that you've played in the past, but don't worry. There's 9 logical save points, so it can be over multiple sessions, or you can use all the hints and you can get through it faster. So it depends on what kind of experience that you want to have.
Amazing. Well, I think you were kind of going through highs and lows.
Okay.
Was your comic book art the high?
For myself?
Yeah.
The high. I forget the high that I did this morning. I have so many highs and lows.
Why don't you start with your low?
My low. So my low is very crystal clear. I remember my low epically. So my low is actually around my favorite puzzle, which is our. I should say our. You're going to see why I'm saying my, but it's actually our. Very much our. There's 3 little pieces in here. I don't know where they went. We had them out this morning. There's another one. Oh, look at this. Oh.
They won't be able to tell.
They won't be able to tell. Here, give me that one. Oh, that's fine. So this is one of our prototypes that our engineer, Dan, made, which is spray painted wood, I believe. Or is this? No, this one's 3D printed. We've had so many different versions of this. And so this is called the shrink ray. And so one of my biggest lows was Evan came out with this shrink ray. We knew that we needed a shrink ray for our game. And Evan came out with the prototype. Do you have the prototype of the shrink ray? No?
Nah, I don't think so.
If you think about Tetris pieces, it was actually really clever how the mechanics worked. It was pieces that you had to build together, so you actually had to build the shrink ray, and it had little arrows on it, and then you had to be able to align those arrows to be able to move on into the game.
Brilliant, really.
Brilliant, really. The unfortunate part was that I had this vision, but I didn't have a solution. So I had this vision that I wanted to be able for our players to build the shrink ray and actually have to target it and use it into a 2D comic book. I wanted you to have to build it and then have to aim it and calibrate it and use it in multiple ways, which is a great idea as a concept. And I really fell in love with the concept, but I didn't have a solution for it. And Evan's like, well, we already have a solution right here.
It's fine. It's totally fine.
It's not fine. It doesn't. Our entire time building this game, our big rule is that we have to avoid plot holes. Puzzles can't just be there to be puzzles, and it has to be immersive. So it has to feel like you are the hero in your own adventure. And so when I was looking at this game, like I was like, well, like what the gun lives on like the piece of paper on the table, like you don't actually aim it. It just didn't make sense to me. And one night I had this dream of this concept, but the problem was, and you can see there's a 2-minute video that Evan made of this entire process that you can see on our Facebook. It was literally a stick figure, right, with 3 circles on it. And I'm like, this is the solution. And he was just like, oh my goodness.
What am I going to do with this?
What am I going to do with this? And I'm like,
I
tried to explain it to you. And he's like, well, show us the prototype. And I was like, okay. Well, that prototyping process, which you can see all the different prototypes on Facebook as well, or if you subscribe to our email list, you will see the PDF of the journey. You can see a lot of the prototypes. It was a 6-month process because my wife and I, we worked on it and we came up with a process of prototype after prototype after prototype.
Shout out, Jack.
Shout out, Jack. Thank you so much for your support and listening to this for almost as long as we've been together. We started this project 3 or 4 months after I met Jack. So yeah, I was like, shortly after we launched this, my marriage will be the longest project I've ever worked on. But until that point, this has been the longest project.
It's definitely my longest relationship.
Yeah, it's mine easily. Too. Well, besides our relationship.
Well, yeah.
Romantic. So my lowest low, to end the story here, was that I just felt like Evan wasn't getting my vision, and then I wasn't able to back up my vision with a prototype that worked. And what ended up happening is I had this aha moment. It was pencils and rulers to figuring it out and putting our comic book on the wall. And once I definitely figured out how we were going to actually aim this thing and calibrate it so it felt like you actually had to shoot it, I knew that it was going to work, but it actually took even more work than we thought it was. We had to hire a light engineer because people have different eye sets, and we had to optimize the holes so that the light and how it got envisioned made sure it worked for different people with different types of vision. But now it works. And so I think that's like my high and my low. My low was like that whole conflict, like the multiple. It's funny that we both had multiple points of conflict during this game, but we overcame them, right? And I never worried about our friendship. Evan was worried about our friendship.
Our relationship's never been stronger.
Never been stronger.
Level up.
And I think we, on a personal level, I think we deal with conflict way better.
Yeah, I've grown a lot through this project. That's for sure.
Myself included too. Right? I feel like Evan has gotten more stern and I have gotten less stern.
Yeah, I'm a real taskmaster now. I want to shout out Wobbling Wagons. If you're still here, thanks for jumping in. And Hillary has a question. Where are we live besides Facebook?
Oh, that's what Hillary's asking for too.
Yeah, that's right. So we're live on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and both my and Doug's Facebooks.
Yes, our personal Facebooks. Not live on our... We only had so many phones. So Evan has 2 phones. I had 1 phone. And then we have 2 computers live. This, what do we have here?
Update.
83 backers for $6,790. Thank you to everybody that's taken the time to go and come and back us this morning. We super appreciate it. Man, it's what a vibrant morning. That's awesome.
Did you want to talk about your highest high of the campaign or move on to some thank yous since you're already thanking people?
The highest high of the campaign, I think we've already discussed it quite a bit, but it was definitely getting comic book art onto the cover that I really, really love. That could be the game board cover, right? This is the main selling point. This is the secondary one. This is the actual one that will be going out. You can see that this is a printed version. This is a professionally created version.
Make sure you show Instagram and TikTok here.
Instagram, TikTok. Yeah. I really wanted something that we were all proud to have on our gaming shelf, because our gaming shelves, you can see them. Well, you can't see them right now, but there's games all over the place in here. We wanted to make sure that people were really the people that came out to support us are really proud of having this game too. Something else I should mention about this game, unlike some other escape games, yes, it's 4 to 8 hours, but it's also very replayable in the sense that it's replayable that you can share it with your friends. So if you have played an escape room more than once, which I don't think you have, then you'll understand that once you go and find all the different mechanics of an escape room type game, it's unlikely that you're going to play again, but you don't destroy anything in this experience. And we actually have very, very clear instructions. We built it in such a way that it's very easy to reset. When we built these prototypes, we had 10 prototypes that we sent to reviewers all over the world. And then they took those prototypes, reset them, and then sent them on to more reviewers. And that happened 2 to 3 times for every copy, and we never had a problem with it. So
Hillary is asking to drop the link. Hillary, if you're talking about the Kickstarter link, definitely do that. If you're looking for one of the other live streams, just let us know, and we'll see if we can hook that up for you.
That link, if you're looking at this on my Facebook, Hillary, you can see it under my bio. There's a link to into the discount, which will give you a 20% discount. If you actually get to the Kickstarter page by clicking any of those links, you can go to the update section, and for 24 hours, that link will also be there. And then if you still can't find the link, once we get off this live session, just send me a personal message and I'll send it right to you. So,
and if you're just joining us, we are discussing the launch of Escape Comics' The Alien Ship. This is the game Doug and I have been working on for the past 8 years. It is available for purchase for the very first time this morning, today. We have a $10 off discount link available for backers who back in the first
$10
hours.
US,
American dollars.
20%.
It's real money, folks.
20% discount.
We get a big boost on Kickstarter if we have big backing in the first day. So thanks in advance for your support. If you're having any trouble finding the campaign, finding the discount link, just send one of us a DM. Send us a message on your platform of your choice. We will be glued to our phones today, living in the world of the internet, and responding to messages and connecting people with incredibly value offers like this one.
Yeah, $49 US for an 4 to 8 hour epic campaign. If you love puzzles, if you know somebody that loves puzzles or somebody that loves escape rooms, please, you can either support us here by making a purchase. Again, the best time is in the next 24 hours. And if you're not ready to make that kind of commitment, or if you want to make more of a commitment, please feel free to share this on your socials and spread it out as much as we can so that we can have a big launch and today to open up that algorithm.
And Doug, you talk about this being an epic campaign, which is certainly true, but would you also say that this is the only product like this in existence?
Yeah, which is tough sometimes. Like it's
what?
To have to explain what a new product is. Like we're in marketing, you never want to be first to market. It's better to be second to market when somebody else has paid for all that education of what this is. Saying that, there are some great narrative adventure puzzles that have done incredibly well that you can compare this game to, that we've super enjoyed. But like when you take it from the concept or the perspective of somebody that's done an escape room or an escape room game, you might not understand how the heck do you make it so that it's enjoyable for that many hours.
Talk about the comic book.
The other thing is that we wanted to make it so that the story was a big part of it. And so we had partnered. We should probably go through the team. And one of the team members is Sean Oliver, who's an award-winning screenwriter. He has his first movie coming live actually in the start of April.
And
do you have the link up here?
It's called Hunting Matthew Nichols. Shout out, Sean. Good
Shout
luck
out, Sean.
with your new film.
Yes, congratulations. We will definitely come and check that out. And he helped us with making sure that our epic journey in our 27-page comic book for Escape Comics had a great story. Evan and I wrote the initial story, and we thought it was really good. We put a lot of effort into that. Jack Kung wants to join you on video. I don't think she does.
Very unlikely.
That seems unlike Jack. Jack is my wife.
Jack, if you want to come in, you hop right in.
You hop right in. I'll add you. You just press that button again. And so Sean Oliver, yes. Maybe we go through the team members. The big difference for our product is the comic book could be its own Kickstarter today. Like we are so proud of the story, how it ended up. Sean's biggest feedback I remember at the first is like, you don't have enough of an antagonist in this story. Like stop, you're going to deep space. It needs to get really difficult. You need to be put into some challenging situations. And we're like, what do you mean? We're in really challenging situations. Like once you get in here, you're going to see that the entire earth is threatened. He's like, no, there needs to be emotional challenges as well. And if you go on to our Facebook page, you can see us. We have pictures of working sessions with Sean that happened over the first year. And it was an incredible process, him walking us through how to take a story and reposition it to make it more emotionally engaging. And it was just a giant level up. Every single person that we worked with, if you look at our Kickstarter, and here I'll scroll down a bit. We're up to 87 supporters. And you scroll all the way down. Whoop, this is on the update session right now. Let me go to the campaign. And we go and scroll down onto our team members. We had so much help to launch this project, to make it such a successful game with our reviewers. So if you go into our Kickstarter and you scroll down, you can see all of the reviews and testimonials from experts in the board gaming field, experts in the escape room field. And then you can see all of the people that we worked with. And so we're talking about Sean Oliver. He's at the top of our team here. Let me scroll down. But he's just one of many. We worked with puzzle experts, escape room experts. We worked with Shannon, who built the Red Bull Escape Room World Championships. She came in.